Alright, hey there guys, Agent Acosta here, aka JediBro95, coming at you guys with another video. In this video is going to be an NBA discussion video. I haven't done one of these since, well, basically last month when I talked about the Rockets basically exploding all over the place. And don't get me wrong, to me, I still find that hilarious that the Rockets basically imploded in like an hour in the off season. They basically imploded within 1 hour. I still find that hilarious. But in this video, I want to talk about one of the, I don't want to, okay, I originally was going to call it the dumbest take in the NBA community, but I've heard dumber shit on the internet for the NBA takes that, quite frankly, it's not really that stupid with what I'm about to say, at least, or not stupid to the level of like, holy shit, but there is a take out there that is really bothering me, and I don't understand why people are having this idea. And the idea in question is that Damian Lillard will take home the 2021 NBA MVP. Now, for disclosure, a couple of things. One, I am recording this video just before Christmas. So in 4 months' time, if Damian Lillard is leading the Blazers to the second best record in the Western Conference, and he's having a career year with like 35 a game on like 50, 40, 90, doing some Steph Curry 2016 type bullshit, don't go in my comment section calling me a fucking idiot for a video that I made literally 4 months ago. Because at the time of this video making, it is just something that I just don't see. And number two, before anybody writes me off as just a Dame hater that shouldn't really listen to, it's important for me to establish, I actually do like Damian Lillard, okay? I don't hate him. I actually do like Damian Lillard and his abilities quite a bit. He's one of the best shot-creating guards the league has seen in quite some time. One of the most prolific can't even talk. One of the most prolific guard scorers the league has seen in recent years, and he's been able to lead the Blazers, even with subpar rosters, has been able to lead the Blazers to playoff appearances. So I don't hate Dame, and to be honest, the only reason I think people hate Dame is just because of the things he does. And don't get me wrong, when he opens his mouth and says stuff, just like what people do with Paul George, it's rightfully, you rightfully do deserve to get shat on. But Dame hasn't really caused any emotion other than going at Paul George, which, to be honest, was fucking hilarious. That was absolutely golden. I loved it. Especially when the Clippers got eliminated from the playoffs, and he and CJ basically just told Patrick Beverley, we'll save you a spot in Cancun. That, to me, was funny. I absolutely loved that. But anyways, so the idea that Dame, in my opinion, the idea that Dame is going to win this season's MVP is an absolutely monstrous and just overall ludicrous take that I'm seeing in the community right now. Because for a few reasons, well, for a couple of main reasons, but I'll obviously explain more. The first is they're not even going to be a top comp team in their own conference. When you look at the Western Conference is absolutely loaded. Okay, like we're talking about like 4 championship contenders in maybe 3, depending on how you feel about Dallas. But there are the 3 legit championship contenders in the West. And I'm putting the Nuggets in that conversation because I think they are now ready to take that step and actually be contending, in my personal opinion. I think that it's time. I think they are there and ready to contend right now. So even in the West, you got the Lakers, who, are the Lakers. They have the best duo in the league, and they got better with the additions of Dennis Schroeder, Marc Gasol. They're giving Thalen or Thalen. I can't remember. I don't know how it's pronounced. I don't know. They're giving him some minutes, and he's actually proving to be somewhat impactful, albeit I do need to see more of him. And they also added, I can't remember who else they added, but they got some more. Oh, yeah, they brought back KCP. Like, they actually got significant. Oh, Montrezl Harrell. That's who else they added. They got significantly better with the offseason additions that they had. So I personally do feel like the Clippers are going to be the best team in the West. No question, no discussion, unless, Braun and AD just do not give a fuck about the regular season, which is something that could happen. Braun tends to not give a shit about the regular season for the most part, unless he really wants to. Then we have the Clippers, who, yes, have become the butt of most jokes ever since they blew a 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets in one of the most spectacular playoff collapses I have ever seen. But keep in mind, they're still the Clippers. They got 2 of the top 5 two-way players in the league. They have retained those stars, and they actually got Luke Kennard, and they actually grabbed Serge Ibaka from the free agent market. So they're not ass. They could theoretically be the second seed in the Western Conference. And then I'm putting the Nuggets in the third seed because the Nuggets, yeah, unfortunately, they lost Jeremy Grant. But, they didn't get worse because they lost Jeremy Grant, but they didn't get better. Like, they did sign JaMychal Green, who can be a replacement, and they did lose Will Barton, but, it's not like they got significantly worse where they would fall out of a top 3 seed in the Western Conference. And I myself would argue that the Dallas Mavericks, with a healthy Kristaps Porzingis, have a better chance of finishing higher than the Blazers. Obviously, if Kristaps Porzingis is not healthy, then, I could see Portland finishing above them. But as of right now, I theoretically do not see the Blazers even being a top 4 team in their own conference. And usually a top team in, not even just the conference, but in the league overall, contributes to winning the MVP. But if if the Blazers are not even a top 4 team in their own conference, and that's not including teams like the Boston Celtics, who I think Jason Tatum is an extremely underrated MVP candidate. I feel like he could come out of nowhere and steal the award. I doubt it, but it is something that could theoretically happen. Giannis Antetokounmpo, even though it is very hard to do, I think he could three-peat the MVP award. It is very hard to do in the NBA, because the last person to do it was Larry Bird back in the mid-'80s. So it is a very hard task to achieve, but I think Giannis could pull it off. I think he could lead the Bucks to like a 56-win season, and if he averages the same amount of points he did last year on 30 minutes a game while playing defensive player of the year quality defense, I don't see how you could just write off Giannis just because he won the last 2 MVPs. Obviously, and then again, Luka Doncic for the West, Kawhi Leonard. But there are so many great teams and even just great players in the NBA right now that could take the MVP. So I just don't buy into this idea that Dame is the front runner for the 2021 MVP. Yes, the Blazers did get better, and they did address some of their defensive issues, like adding Robert Covington, which is something they needed and whatnot. But again, why is all of a sudden one off-season addition, and all of a sudden the Blazers are like a front runner for MVP? Quite frankly, I would theoretically see guys theoretically see Giannis three-peating his MVP before I see Dame win MVP. So that's just my personal opinion. Again, I'm not hating on Dame. I just think that there are so many other great players, and I don't even think he's going to win enough games to really give him the award. The only time we've really seen a team not be a top 2 record in the NBA or a top record in their conference win MVP, the last time we saw that was Russell Westbrook. And I personally am of the belief that giving Russell Westbrook that MVP was one of the worst mistakes the NBA has done in recent memory. But again, that's neither here nor there, because I'll probably talk about that in another video if you guys want to see it. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts about the idea that Dame will win the 2021 MVP. Do let me know in the comment section below if you do agree or disagree with this take. Also, let me know why you agree or disagree with this take. Basically, do you just agree with everything I said? Do you think that Dame is going to, do you think that the Blazers got so much better by adding Robert Covington, and I can't remember who they all added, but nonetheless, they did get better. I'm not going to disagree with that. So, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.